Hi boys and girls, this is Show back with another video. Tonight we're going to cover the Manchester United versus Young Boys game in the Champions League. First game of the group, disappointing to say the least. So yeah, let's crack on with that. So result, if you don't know it, it finished 2-1 to Young Boys at the death. JLingz back pass, which was just laughably short. I mean, it was virtually a through ball to the striker, and then obviously put that away pretty well in the end. But talking points basically was the fact that Ronaldo score sheet again, clinical finish, great outside the foot ball from the left hand side by Bruno. I mean, that was probably going to be the pass of the round. Well finished by Ronaldo through the keeper's legs, and it sort of crawled over the line. Sort of good build of momentum from the weekend. You just felt like, there we go. We've got a relatively early goal there. We'll grow into the game manage it in the second half, and at the very worst, just kind of see home a 1-0 victory. And then out of the blue, Wan-Bissaka diving in. Kind of pressing the sort of midfield high up the pitch, just totally unnecessary. Lunges and his foot obviously going over the ball, gets sent off about the 35th minute. We then see it home to half time quite comfortably. I think we obviously hooked Sancho at that point, who was struggling in the game as well. It was definitely his worst game so far. I think he was sort of a bit slow on the ball, gave the ball away a lot, was trying like risky things that when you're trying to sort of build momentum in the game, probably not the best idea if it doesn't come off, because obviously it sort of gets you on the back foot in terms of what to do next, in the next phase of possession that you get in the game. But yeah, he got hooked, which was the right decision by Solskjaer. But we saw it home easily to half time with Van der Beek and Fred in the middle. And then in the second half, for some reason, we took Van der Beek off, and then we put Varane in, and then we just conceded the midfield. Pogba, as we know, an absolute liability when it comes to sort of like reading where to be defensively, tracking runners, was good at holding up the ball once it hit him, because obviously he's a strong lad, and he's good at sort of riding challenges and using his manipulating his touches while it's in the air to sort of give him half a yard from the oncoming presser. But largely just a really poor tactical decision from Solskjaer, which just meant that we're conceding chance after chance, and we just rode our luck a bit. I mean, defended okay in parts. I thought there was a decent David De Gea save from the centre back from long range, tipped it over the bar. But all that said, it very much thought that we'd get just a pretty tame, lacklustre point after the red card. But then Jesse, moment of madness, and then we're going home absolutely devastated, and kind of like it's broken our momentum from the weekend's victory with the sort of Ronaldo homecoming and that type of thing. So all in all, obviously really, really disappointing. But I just want to cover a few points on that. Really, is just if you look at the actual team performance itself, I thought Bruno, while we had 10 men, was playing well, was getting into pockets, was playing nice passes. Him and Pogba were linking up very, very well. Their chemistry is just building nicely. They're still playing really, really effective football together, even though Pogba was out left this time. I thought Van der Beek, he's a tireless worker. Definitely was more available, to receive passes than Fred, but they kind of balanced each other out a bit, because obviously the good thing about Van der Beek is he's disciplined, so he was trying to be someone that would receive the pass, from the centre backs, then obviously just play the simple pass into Bruno or a more sort of cultured player up in attack, and I think for the large part he did that relatively well. I just think Fred as well. This is the thing that obviously keeps Fred in the team, because we don't have an upgraded version of him at all in the squad. I thought he was terrific today, which is just going to think Solskjaer's going to think, okay, we'll play him for another 20 games, and if his form dips at any time during those games, obviously that's when we struggle, because he's, as much as you don't want to believe it, United fans out there, he's just so vitally important to the way we play, and I think for the most part, the fact that we took Van der Beek off, he was basically manning that midfield by himself in the second half, and I thought he did a manful job. And so, yeah, I mean, personally, he was probably my man of the match, really, in terms of like his general performance throughout the game. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, though, obviously the rest of the players did what they could in the game, and then, yeah, like I have issue with the fact that we took so long to make some substitutions that would have been key. Like I say, we conceded the midfield, which, you know, as an experiment is fine to a degree, but then when you know it's not going well, if we got some of the players on earlier, I mean, I know that sounds ironic, the fact that, you know, get Jesse on earlier, someone like that, and then obviously Matic as well. I didn't disagree with those decisions. I just think, you know, you can't legislate for what Jesse did in the final part of the game. But yeah, it leaves a bitter taste in the mouth. Obviously, we're desperate now to get to the weekend, and, you know, get that you know, sort of closure from the game, in terms of if we can get a win in the Premier League, then you forget all about it, really. But it's just another poor night in Europe, and, you know, obviously we've had some decent progression in the Europa League, but it's not where we want to be. We want to be in the Champions League and progress in there, and I just think there's just, over the last few seasons, there's been too many players that have just not maybe necessarily bottled it, but they've just cost us at crucial times. And same again today. I mean, you know, simply put, Wan-Bissaka sending off completely needless cost us the game. Certainly cost us the win that we could have gone for at that point. And then Jesse Lingard, you know, could have put that into row Z. Could have done literally 99 things except the thing that he did, and he chose to play a through ball to their player, who then put it away nicely. So yeah, back to the drawing board really with that. But I just think, you know, Solskjaer, what I'm worried about is the fact that, you know, is he going to be someone that knows when to take the right players off, or is he going to, you know, continue to say let the ego stay out there? Now, it's not the, you know, like the Bruno or the Ronaldo or whoever's fault that they're staying on the pitch. It's purely the fact that Solskjaer, you know, has his favourites, it seems to me, sticks with those players in the team, leaves them on longer than they should be on, and, you know, there are players that, you know, I thought were doing good jobs in that game in the first half, especially when, like I said, kind of like last 10 minutes before the break, when Wan-Bissaka first got off, you know, they didn't really lay a glove on us. You know, like just having two bodies in the midfield, and Fred and Van der Beek were working relatively well together. You know, they seemed to know where the other would be. Both disciplined though, and that's the thing. Both playing a very, very central pivot, like I mentioned in the previous videos about where you drift. One another drifts on the heat map. Very, very balanced with Van der Beek and Fred, and I thought, like, in the first half, it was working just absolutely fine. There was no need to change it. And in terms of conceding the amount of possession we did and the amount of chances we did, I think fundamentally it was down to that change there. So yeah, bitterly disappointing. And I think, you know, United, they're going to have to you know, get a good result soon in the group, if we're looking to sort of, you know, get that sort of get away from that Europa League hoodoo that we've had over the last couple of seasons. You know, is the fact that we brought in Ronaldo and Varane, you know, a sort of leopard doesn't change its spots kind of thing, isn't it, really? Like, you know, we're still having trouble with, you know, game management in the Champions League, players doing stupid things, and yeah, until we sort of get out of the group and have sort of a positive experience with you know, this sort of new set of players, you know, the sort of kind of skeletons that have been existing over the last few seasons are going to remain. So yeah, I mean, largely positive over the course of the season, but this is a bitter one to swallow. So, you know, United at it again in the Champions League. Solskjaer, bizarre decisions. Yeah, roll on the weekend, and you know, hopefully we can get back to winning ways. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Please, you know, put your thoughts as well in the comments section. Anything like that, anything you sort of disagree in terms of my take on some of the players' performances, that type of thing. And thank you so a lot for listening. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.